It happened about 12 years ago. I was working in a small hospital in a rural city in Egypt. The hospital is formed of 5 floors. My dorm was on the 5th floor. The ground floor had the emergency and the casualty department. Other floors have the wards, the labs, and the operative theater. At the time, the hospital was under some maintenance. In that particular day, I was on duty. There was nothing in the operative theater that afternoon, so I was in my room in the 5th floor, surfing the web on my computer. I heard some knocks on the door. It was the janitor. He told me that some new beds and wardrobes would be delivered now. He asked me to stay out of the room till they finished the replacement. I stayed in the TV room for a while when suddenly the PA system announced my name to head immediately to ER. Before I move, one security man came running and he told me that there was a big road traffic accident that involved a school bus and that everyone available is needed down. I rushed to the ER, and when I entered the ER department, I noticed the new color of the walls. Before it was green, and now it's blue with silver decorations everywhere. While I was helping the children, I asked one nurse when they changed the colors of the ER. Would all hospitals have the same pattern? She looked at me confused and asked, "What new color? It was always like that." I got confused myself, but I didn't pay attention to that. There were many injured children, there were many doctors and surgeons, etc. A lot of them were new faces to me. I was working in this place for several years, so I almost knew everyone. I was asking myself when all those new people came. I was asking the people I know about the new doctors, and always I was getting the same answers. "You don't know him? How? He was here for several years. We meet over lunch or dinner, etc." And again I was confused, but I didn't pay attention. A couple of hours later, everything is fine and things began to settle down. So I went outside the ER to have some fresh air. And I won't forget what I saw. The hospital's place is near the Nile, the western branch, so that's what I usually see when I leave the hospital. But what I saw was simply the Mediterranean Sea. So the city is near the Mediterranean, but it's not that close. That's why I couldn't believe my eyes. I began to look to the surrounding buildings. Some I knew, some I didn't. Now I'm freaking out. I remembered that I didn't recognize the ER or the new doctors. I ran inside to my colleagues and asked them about what is outside, and they told me it's the Mediterranean. I shouted, "I know it is, but how did it come here?" Everyone was confused. I kept asking, "Where am I?" And my colleagues started to calm me down and try to understand why the panic. I tried to call my parents using my cell phone, but they didn't answer. I wanted to call one of the doctors. I consider him a father and a best friend, but I couldn't find his name on my phone. I really freaked out. I asked my colleagues for his number. Everyone told me that they don't recognize the name. I was sure that I wasn't dreaming. I was treating children, calculating drug doses. My mind was clear enough to know that I wasn't dreaming. I got a mental block. I didn't know what to do. Then I decided that I will leave the hospital at once. I need to see my family. I ran to the 5th floor to my room to change my clothes and get my things before I leave the place. Once I opened the room, I noticed the usual furniture. No new furniture, no new bed or wardrobe. I stood there for a moment, totally lost. Then I heard someone calling me. It was a security guard. He told me that there's a big accident down that involved a lot of children, and they needed everyone down there. I kept staring at him without any response. He kept talking that PA is down because of a faulty maintenance, and that's why they are calling the doctors individually. I told him that I will go down. He asked me if there's any other doctors on the 5th floor. I told him that I don't know, so he went to check. I had to look outside the window, and here it was. The Nile and the usual scene, but I was already lost. I went down to help, the same children, same injuries, but I was completely confused and my hands were shaking and my legs barely carried me. It was easy to manage the children since I knew them already. I knew what kind of injuries we will find, and my colleagues, usually daily group, no more new doctors, asked if I was okay and that I was pale. The next few days were like hell to me. I had nightmares, I wasn't able to think clearly during my day, and then I took 1 week off to calm down. I have never experienced anything similar. I wasn't on any medications at the time, or under any kind of stress. Everything was clear. It wasn't a dream at all. As I said, my mind was clear to pay attention to the details of drug doses, scoring of injuries, I'm sure. Till today, I still remember the children and what I did to them. I only told this story to this older doctor that I considered a father, and later to my wife, because whenever I remember it, I remember those horrible feelings that I had.